again, everybody. It's a wonderful Monday in Clay County, and we had a lot going on, didn't we? Wow, what a great weekend for us here in Clay County. First of all, let's start out with the Route 40 Fest. How wonderful was that? For the first one, the gang at Brazil Main Street just did an outstanding job putting that together. Everyone seemed to be having a good time. There was good music, and that trailer that was donated by Great Dane. How great was that? Did you see how that was painted? Fantastic. And I look forward to the Route 40 Fest that they can do next year. I'm sure it's going to be even bigger and better. Also over the weekend, as part of the Route 40 Fest, was a night at the museum where history came alive. We have some pictures in there and the story of the various people who were portrayed from Brazil's past at the night at the museum. On the front page of the Brazil Times today, T.J. Snedden and Jill Evans, and they were portraying Simon Hare, who was the second mayor of Brazil, and his daughter, Edna Hare Buckland, who was the first female member of the Brazil School Board. And of course, TJ always does such a wonderful job with his portrayals, and that was just wonderful. It was really great. I'm using the superlatives a lot because really that's what it was all about. And coming to the present time and the future, Northview has announced their homecoming queen candidates in attendance, and you can read about them and see those girls' pictures in the Brazil Times today as well. We also have a story on the front page about the Corey Apple Fest that kicks off Friday here in Clay County. Now, when we look inside, we see Linda Messmer's story, Have You Seen Bigfoot? Brazil Mayor Brian Wyndham has a concrete replica of him. He's a big hairy creature with greenish-yellow luminous eyes that looks like a cross between an ape and a werewolf. Bigfoot, that is, not the mayor, she says. So you could read all about Linda Messmer's column concerning Bigfoot in today's edition of the Brazil Times. Well, when we look inside, more pictures from Route 40 Fest taken by our editor, Pete Wilson, and more pictures of the homecoming attendance inside. Oh, Cowboy Bob passed away. Did you see that over the weekend? Bob Glaze, better known as Cowboy Bob on Channel 4, passed away, and he was only 73 years old. I say only 73. And what a great icon he was for local children growing up in Indiana and watching Cowboy Bob on Channel 4. I can remember coming back to Indiana from wherever we were living at the time for Christmas one year, as we often did. And one particular year we went over to Indianapolis and shopped at one of the big malls there, and there was Cowboy Bob strumming his guitar and singing for the kids of all ages, and just really setting the mood of Christmas, and it was just a wonderful thing. At that time, Lazarus, I think it was giving away Lazarus dogs. If you spent so much money, you received this big white stuffed Lazzy dog, and some woman came out of nowhere. We'd never seen her before, never saw her again. She saw my little boy sitting in his stroller and said, "Would you like this?" and gave him her Lazzy dog. And I just thought, boy, what a great feeling of Christmas. And I think a lot of that was because Cowboy Bob was there and singing at the mall. How great that was. A lot of us remember Cowboy Bob. I remember then later he was taping his show out at the fairgrounds during the Indiana State Fair. And even though my little boy was too young to really care, I insisted that we go and watch Cowboy Bob live at the Indiana State Fair. And then the next morning we had to watch the tape on Channel 4. But we'll really miss him. Bob Glaze, Cowboy Bob, passing away at 73. It's not been that long ago that we lost the original Sammy Terry. And so time goes on, but with the economy the way it is, not much local live television anymore except for news, and that's too bad, but that's just the economy. Inside the Brazil Times today, our editor has an editorial. He says, keep your grass clippings to yourself. And he is warning us that when we throw our grass clippings into the street, it causes problems for the city. And I just saw that over the weekend, a couple of people just blowing their grass clippings out into the street in Brazil, and sure enough, those grass clippings are going to wash down into the storm sewer, plug up the storm sewer, the streets will be over flooding with water, and probably the same people that are doing that will be complaining and saying, you know, these streets are not draining water like they should. So anyway, if we all did our part to keep the grass out of the sewers could do a better job for us. Inside we have our sports page, and we have Northview Soccer splitting in a doubleheader against the Cougars. We have Andretti Autosport, who has locked in driver Ryan Hunter-Reay and sponsor DHL Express through the 2030 IndyCar season. We have a story about Northview Tennis. They knocked off Indian Creek for third in the WIC, and Clay City Boys placed fourth at South Knox. So we have all those stories inside today's Brazil Times as well. Plus community news. We've got a great picture, great picture of Linda Messmer and Bigfoot, and she is just horrified at Bigfoot as Bigfoot looks at her. So you can check that out on page 8 of today's edition of the Brazil Times. Also, we made it up to Carbon for the Van Buren Fire Department fish fry. They had a Jonah fish fry on Saturday, and we were able to get up there and have a picture of several guys that you'll probably recognize who were serving food up there. And we have more pictures from the night at the museum inside as well. There's Matt and Melanie Huber, and we also have Vicki Mace and Dolores Johnson and Carolyn Branson also as well. More community news inside. Congratulations to the Baylor family with the birth of Louis Jared Baylor. Congratulations to Jessica and Devin Vermillion, who were married August 21st. Congratulations to the Cooksey family, who has welcomed a fifth generation. So you can look at all those pictures inside today's edition of the Brazil Times as well. A lot more for you inside. We hope that you'll pick up your copy of the Monday edition of the Brazil Times. I'm Frank Phillips, and I appreciate you joining us here. We'll see you later.